The basic process improvement metric. That which can be measured, can be improved. The basic process improvement metrics are used for business process improvement and operational excellence. These can be of many categories. If we consider the fundamental sections in a manufacturing and service sector, we shall find that there are a few common areas for improvement. These are productivity, people, safety, OSHA, assets, quality, total productivity maintenance. The area quality is explained in the earlier session. We shall explain other areas in detail. Here, there are a few different matrices for productivity. A few important ones are labor productivity, sales per employee, asset productivity. Labor productivity is defined as output units produced divided by total labor hours engaged. The total labor hours may include the number of hours even the office staffs are engaged. In this context, concept of equivalent units must be understood. If there are multiple product mix in the plant, then concept of equivalent units will be important. This shall isolate the impact of mixed production in the plant. Let us take an example. Imagine an appliance plant makes both industrial chillers and household refrigerators. The standard labor content is 2 hours for an industrial chillers and 1 hour for a refrigerators. For calculation of equivalent units, one product is picked up as the baseline, and the other one is expressed in equivalent units. If the industrial chiller is 1 unit, then the refrigerator is half a unit. So production of 4 industrial chillers and 2 refrigerators are equivalent to 5 equivalent units. Without this equivalence, it would be difficult to understand how the production trend is. If the plant starts making 50 refrigerators, at the expense of 40 industrial chillers at same labor hour of 12 hours a day, then it might appear to be more productive. If compared on equivalent units, it decreased from 10.00 to 8.75. So, productivity measured by actual units can go up while productivity based on equivalent units can go down. Equivalent units give a more accurate measurement of productivity improvement efforts. Our next improvement metric is sales per employee. Total company productivity can be measured by total sales dollars per employee. Here the calculating formula for sales per employee equals to total sales in a year divided by total number of employee. This is annualized for a year. Our next improvement metric is asset productivity. Asset productivity can be measured by comparing total number of units produced to the net present value or NPV of property. Property includes plant and equipment and inventory. Total property value is the total asset. So asset productivity equals to total units produced divided by NPV of asset. Our next process improvement metric relates to people. These are mainly of 2 types: employee turnover rate and unplanned absenteeism rate. The first is employee turnover rate. The impact of employee terminations, both voluntary and involuntary, can be measured by the number of terminations, divided by the average employment, during the period. This is usually calculated annually. The next is unplanned absenteeism rate. Unplanned absenteeism is the number of employees absent that were not pre-approved divided by the total number of employees. Unplanned absenteeism may include vacation, pre-approved personal time, holidays, long-term medical leave, etc. Regarding safety, the metrics are number of OSHA 300 log incidents, number of OSHA lost workday incidents, number of days off work, incident rate. There are many other matrices: lost workday illness/injury rate, lost day rate, workman's compensation cost per employee, or per unit, in equivalent unit, employee experience. Here, the 200,000 figure in the formula represents the number of hours 100 employees would work, while working 40 hours per week in 50 weeks per year. This provides the standard base for calculating incidence rate for an entire year. The next business process improvement metrics is about assets. There are 6 basic matrices. These are total inventory turns. This equals to cost of goods sold, annualized, divided by the average inventory level for the period. This tells how many times inventory turns over or flows through the process for a given sales volume. Raw and VIP inventory turns. This is the same measure as total inventory turns, but excludes finished goods from the inventory denominator. Days supply of inventory. This is the converse of inventory turns. This equals to average inventory divided by cost of goods sold times 365. For many inventory reduction initiatives, inventory may be measured in physical terms, such as the number of bins of parts, and equated to days of consumption, rather than valuing the inventory. This is a quicker, more visible, and more easily understood measure for shop floor projects. The next metric in assets category is total cycle time. This is the total time required to complete a physical process, including wait time and inventory time. This is also known as dock-to-dock time. For example, raw material is received and is consumed over 15 days, and the manufacturing process takes 7 days, including time spent in buffer inventories. Total cycle time is therefore 22 days. The definition can be broadened to include finished goods. The next metric is value added cycle time. This is portion of the total cycle time, where value is actually added to the product or service. This excludes all wait time and transit time through a plant. We shall learn more about this while learning about value stream mapping or VSM. The last metric is cash conversion cycle equals DSO plus DSI minus DPO. This is days sales outstanding plus days supply and inventory minus days of payables outstanding. This metric shows how fast purchased materials and other inputs are turned into cash. This compares to how quickly cash is dispersed to pay for those materials and inputs. Another very important process improvement metric is total productivity maintenance. This includes 3 matrices for improvement. These are MTTR, MTBF, and OEE. MTTR. This refers to mean time to repair. It is a basic measure of the maintainability of repairable items. It represents the average time required to repair a failed component or device. It is the total corrective maintenance time for failures divided by the total number of corrective maintenance actions for failures during a given period. The next is MTBF. This refers to mean time between failures. This is the predicted elapsed time between inherent failures of a mechanical or electronic system during normal system operation. MTBF can be calculated as the arithmetic mean, average, time between failures of a system. The term is used for repairable systems, while mean time to failure, MTTF, denotes the expected time to failure for a non-repairable system. Operational effectiveness rate, OEE, is a combined metric that shows the impact of equipment availability, equipment performance, and quality of output. The metric is calculated by multiplying availability, performance, and quality, as detailed. Here note how these 3 terms are defined and how the OEE is calculated.
End of the session.
To make the learning even more engaging, our research team has prepared a short quiz for you to test your understanding. You can find the link to the quiz in the description below. Take a few minutes to complete it and feel free to share it with your colleagues, friends, and online mates. Before you go, don't forget to hit the bell icon. If you haven't subscribed yet, now's the time. Don't miss out on the latest insights. I look forward to seeing you in the next video.